Aflao TV, the heart of Africa. We are transmitting live from our studios at Aflao in the Ketut South Municipality of the Volta region. You can reach us on your multi-TV channel in addition to other social media platforms like Facebook and YouTube.
In this edition of Our News Bulletin, the Denu police in the Ketut South Municipality have intercepted some motorcycles and vehicles with regards to violation of the COVID-19 protocols. And also, we will be taking you to Akachi, where more than 300 senior high school graduates have gone through a vigorous interview session in order to benefit from government scholarship for their tertiary education in the 2020 and 2021 academic year.
And the Avena Traditional Council says the Angola Traditional Council should stop interfering in their internal affairs, and will land you at a where Canaan parvovirus has killed 5 puppies, a development which has brought some worry to the residents of the area. Stay glued to your TV sets for this and other stories in this bulletin. My name is Oklu Senyo, and I am here with
Rebecca Oklu Akoli.
Minam Yakpo Aflao TV. This Honorable Stephen Koku Atachi, the former presiding member Ketut North, and currently the National Vice Chairman for Road Contractors Association, a president of African Network for Animal Welfare. Let us all watch Aflao TV. It's the buzz, the heart of Africa, the heart of the world. I can assure you.
The Denu police in the Ketut South Municipality of the Volta region on Wednesday intercepted a number of motorcycles and vehicles as part of efforts to ensure compliance of COVID-19 protocols, including the wearing of nose masks at public places as directed by the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. A visit by the Aflao TV to the Denu market area revealed that a number of drivers and some motor riders are flouting the COVID-19 health protocols in the wearing of nose masks and crash helmets. Senyo Oklu, Vicentia Gauga, and Rebecca Oklu Akoli have sent in this report.
On Denu market days such as one on Wednesday, thousands of traders and customers flock the market from all walks of life, not only to sell their goods, but also undertake other business ventures. The Denu police took the drivers and motor riders, popularly known as Okada operators, by surprise. They intercepted a number of vehicles whose occupants or users were flouting the COVID-19 face mask wearing protocols. Some of the motor riders were not wearing crash helmets, while others were also picked up for riding unlicensed motorcycles. Some of the aggrieved culprits spoke to our news team, expressing mixed reactions about the development. They spoke of her.
Aleba nyamaro mili ha nyama hemetia ba mimaro nyamaro nos masel kaka nyama hemetia mirui ika kuku akova mi kaka ogbo mate sa ma kota na mi aleba mi lafia no kukura na kaka o ma toro mi aleba nyama jima jijiaro nya tai mi ba fia ngi ka mi o mi o ba ngwana nyo mi akpere mi mi awelo
na plamoto ye ya nu gbanto mi wo na nya bana mi akpo pepeso na va mi agbola siato eye mi a ado adam now ana un kakaviade ta le mi operate na la sia me nya bana na va mi anwlo nko mi aho telephone number eye nenye be enye new moto a ke mie dzagbagba mie xɔ wo paperso ale bena mi wɔ photocopy ta mie kpoe de dzesi bena menye ŋufifi wonye o afi na te ŋu akɔe kɔ ame le mia gbɔ eye fifia hã ne va si ame amewo gblɔ ge no bena eyi habɔbɔ ya va le asia to abe dzi wɔme atɔ̃ na enutifafa li eye nuwo katã le dɔ wɔm le eteƒe ale bena eya me ƒo na wa commander nyami eye station officer nyami policiwo katã wo nyami ta menye ɖoko natso ko ava le nava wɔ nu sia nu ke dze asi o bena ye hã etso ko be eva de ŋu si me be eva dɔ wɔgo menye nenema o le nye ma.
In an interview with the Denu District Police Commander, ASP Joseph Nakoja, he touched on the rationale behind the exercise and stressed the need for the public to strictly adhere to all COVID-19 health protocols to prevent the spread of the virus.
In every situation, some people will not feel comfortable anytime there is a change of doing things. And so we are facing some challenges, but we try to educate them. You know, it is just not about arresting, but also sensitizing the people and also educating them. So that is exactly what we are doing this morning. We are facing some challenges, but we make sure that we handle it professionally. People earlier thought the COVID-19 was almost going out. But with these present directives, they are now finding it difficult putting on the nose mask. And some, you know, at our local levels here, some used to even sit on motor 3, 4, you will see 2 or 3 other parallel riders behind the rider. And so when we began doing these things, some of them are not feeling comfortable. Some confronts my men violently, but we always make sure that we enforce it to the letter. One thing we must all understand is that we are still fighting with the COVID-19. We should not lose our guard. If you look at the data or the records per what was charged to rest last week, it means that the pandemic is on the increase. And so we should always make sure that what the medical officers or let's say directives, the experts are giving to us, we go by it. Though we may not feel comfortable, we may not be conversant or maybe comfortable with wearing this nose mask and other things, but we should know that it is for our own good. Market days like we have it today in Denu, it is not the best. If you go to the market, you see the crowding. You see people going with this, without these nose masks. And you may not know the career of this sickness. So it is for our own good. We are urging the citizen to understand it. It is not for just a punishment or whatever. We are also making sure that when the time comes and this problem is resolved, I believe we will get back to the normal life. But for now, we should know that we are not in normal times. And we must go by the directives being given to us.
And more than 300 senior high school graduates from 5 southern districts of the Volta region are expected to receive government scholarship support for the 2020-2021 academic year. The beneficiary students were selected through an online application to the Scholarship Secretariat in addition to a vigorous interview session held at Akachi Municipal Assembly Hall on Wednesday. The exercise forms part of the effort by government to decentralize the award of government scholarship to SHS graduates across the country. The decentralization of the scholarship scheme attracted the 300 applicants of the Akachi zone to the Akachi South Municipal Assembly on Wednesday. The applicants met a high-powered panel for an interview session as part of the selection process. The Akachi zone saw 8 applicants from Akachi South and North District, as well as South Central and North Tone. The scholarship is expected to take them through the entire tertiary education in any private or public university. Some of the district and municipal chief executives on the panel spoke with our news team, saying that the decentralization of the scheme is a dream come true.
The interview is ongoing for the applicants for scholarship. They access this on the net. They give the link and they apply. So nobody interferes in that process, apart from the scholarship secretariat who set this aptitude test during the course of the application. If you pass, then you are okay, then you come for the interview. So that is exactly what we are doing. If you come, we use the net, we pop in, see your aptitude test, the result, that qualifies you. Then we proceed from there. So that's what, so currently 5 districts are holding the interview here.
Yeah, today is a very happy day. We know education is a very recovering development, and a country that has not taken its education serious, that country is not worth dying for. We must applaud our President Excellency before that. But during his regime, we want to decentralize the scholarship system. Every district will to award people in that community so that they can be able to, as it were, get the best out of that particular district. And therefore, mean that the nearby we shall look for manpower to build up that district. We should be able to leverage on this program during the scholarship. Now the president making the senior high school free. Now there's another leg of it for the secondary school, those who are going to the tertiary institutions. Now we have a scholarship scheme for them to pay their full fees. And this is what we are experiencing today. Today we have 5 districts. We have chosen Akachi. The staff that Akachi is to be the central point that the 5 districts we are conducting interview for prospective candidates who are yearning to get into the university. Some are already gotten an admission to the university, some are continuous students. If you look at the general atmosphere per the applicants, it depicts that some of them have a difficulty of paying school fees. Therefore means that if there are not be any better intervention, those our students we are seeing now might not be able to complete the school. So government at the right time have thought there's a need for us to really support this to these students by giving them full-time scholarship to study in the tertiary institutions from various both private and public institutions.
The Office of the President for decentralizing scholarships, so much so that people in my district, a rural district, are catching up, can also benefit in their lifetime government sponsorship for education. Many years ago, some of us didn't get the opportunity because we're not close to Accra. But today, in the comfort of our districts, our children can also benefit from Ghana, the scholarship secretariat effort. Thanks to the President for such visionary leadership. The previous year, we had over 20 students sponsored, totaling over 60,000 Ghana cedis to get scholarships. And they are in school and the school fees were paid. Later part of last year, we had students applying, and the first batch, over 20 of them, have also school fees have been paid for them. As we speak now, we have over 20 of our people from Akachinov who are here today to get interviewed so that possibly they will pass and then their school fees will be paid for them. This is the way to develop a country so that every corner of the country can benefit from such effort of training the human resource capacity, which will come back tomorrow to come and help develop our rural districts. I'm very happy for the opportunity given to our people in the Akachinov district to be also able to go to school and become lawyers, to become doctors, to become medical laboratory scientists, to become journalists and teachers, so that our communities will develop as well. Thank you.
Now, in some other stories, the Aflao Traditional Council in the Volta region has called on the Anglo Traditional Council to desist from interfering in its internal affairs. According to the council, the issue of whether or not the Anglo Traditional Council has jurisdiction over the Aflao Traditional Council has since been determined and settled by the Whole High Court and Court of Appeal. Addressing a press conference at Akachi on Wednesday, a spokesperson for the council and senior divisional chief of the area, Togbi Ahia Madowu Godome III, noted that the inauguration of the Aflao Traditional Council made the council independent of the Anglo Traditional Council. There is more in the following video.
Conference was necessitated by a publication by the Anglo Traditional Council in the Saturday 9th January 2021 edition of The Spectator under the heading Anglo Traditional Council injuncts Kobajis to at Gefia. In the said publication, the Judicial Committee of the Anglo Traditional Council announced that it had placed in an injunction on the Kobajis too at Gefia in the Akachi South District of the Volta region, saying its creation is contrary to the customs and traditions of the Anglo states. The Aveno Traditional Council views the publication not only as absolutely outrageous and preposterous, but also less expected from the Judicial Committee of the Anglo Traditional Council.
Anglo Traditional Council has no right in any way to trespass into this Aveno Traditional Council to lay injunction on a member of Aveno Traditional Council without the knowledge of the president or the knowledge of the council. I'm saying this because Aveno Traditional Area, which is now a council, is headed by a paramount chief in the person of Togbe Doglo Anuma VI, who is also the president of the Aveno Traditional Council. The paramount chief, as I've mentioned, is assisted by 3 senior wing chiefs. That is Togbe Akleme Adifu IV, who is representing the Merrill wing. Togbe Amagavieso V, who is also heading the right wing. And then Togbe Sakpaku IX, who is heading the left wing. If there is anything between any chief in the area, it is these people who are to settle this matter amicably. Togbe Kobaji III and Togbe Kluji III are all members of the Aveno Traditional Area, and for that matter, the Aveno Traditional Council. And they are all members, or they are all under Togbe Amagavieso V. So if any of the parties is agreed, these two people, chiefs, are to report to Togbe Amagavieso. We just want to advise Anglo Traditional Council that they don't have any jurisdiction over Aveno Traditional Council. They have no right to trespass, to do anything so far as Aveno Traditional Council is concerned.
The council emphasizes that Togbe Kobaji III is not only the Dufia of Gefia, but also a prominent member of the Aveno Traditional Council, adding that he is accorded with all the privileges and rights deserving the Kobajis too.
We just want to inform Anglo Traditional Council that they can never trespass into another traditional council to do whatever they want. Our message is very simple and straightforward. As I've said, we are not here to arbitrate on who is the chief, who is so and so. No, that is not our matter. But just want to let them know that they can never enter another traditional council in this country to do whatever they want. If there is anybody who is deceiving them or misleading them, I think they have to ask and know the right thing and do the right thing.
Let's now take you to Kettinov in the Kettinov municipality, because 5 puppies have died from the canine parvovirus disease that attacks dogs. The puppies belong to the former presiding member of the Kettinov Municipal Assembly, Stephen Atachi, who is also a national animal rights activist in the country. Mr. Atachi said the death of the puppies from the virus is unfortunate, hoping that the general public and particularly owners of pets such as dogs would learn from this bitter experience.
The canine parvovirus is a very contagious disease within the dog fraternity. It mostly affects puppies that have not been vaccinated or have not completed their vaccination regimes as required. Animal health experts say puppies affected by the disease develop symptoms and conditions such as dry mucus, wet anus and bloody stains, foul smell in the mouth, bloody stool, as well as vomiting, amongst others. An animal health officer of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture in charge of the Apipa zone, Anthony Prosper Avonyo, throws more light on the virus in the following interview with our news team at Mr. Atachi's residence at Ehi.
So canine parvovirus is a highly contagious virus that affects canines, especially puppies, from ages 6 weeks to 12 weeks. This virus is very dangerous and it causes a great disturbance in the gastrointestinal tract of these puppies. Most of the physical examination you can do to diagnose it is that it has bloody stool, vomiting, loss of appetite, and loss of weight too. Yeah, so for a week ago, we recorded a suspected canine parvovirus at Honorable Stephen Atachi's residence, in which it was late in the evening, on Wednesday evening around 10 p.m., in which I came with my assistant. We came and we did a physical examination on the dog, and we could see a bloody stool, vomiting, loss of weight, and loss of appetite too. So that evening, treatment started vigorously, and subsequent days passed by, and extra puppies were highly affected. On fateful day, 10th January, we recorded extra 4 deaths of the puppies, which makes this disease very, very fatal and highly contagious.
Mr. Avonyo had the following advice for the general public on this latest suspected canine parvovirus disease amongst the puppies fraternity.
My advice to the general public today is that we should try as much as possible to vaccinate our puppies whenever they reach the 6th week, and never to miss a vaccination in the chart. Puppies that are not vaccinated or that don't follow the vaccination chart are highly exposed to this virus, and they could be down with it. It is very important that whenever your puppy reaches the 6th week, you vaccinate it. You call a veterinary officer to come and vaccinate it for you.
A former presiding member of the Kettinov Municipal Assembly and an animal rights activist, Stephen Kwaku Atachi, is the owner of the infected puppies.
After the death of my historical dog called Fofwe, I realized that I have to have an NGO to educate the whole world, the whole Africa, about the animal welfare in this country. Recently, there is a disease which has broke into the world now, and I believe a lot of people are not aware. That is the parvo, and this parvo, the puppies who refuse to eat. Those are the symptoms. The puppy refuse to eat. I mean, they won't be friendly again, and with these 7 days, it will pass. I mean, the puppy will pass away. So I want the whole world to know that these are a serious disease which is worrying the puppies. And I'm appealing to all the government, I mean, in the whole world, to come to our aid to save this particular problem for the puppies.
Our cherished viewers and listeners, this is where we take a breather. We'll be back after the commercial break. Stay with us.
Aflao TV, and now we move on with our stories. A resident and a driver at Hachukopa near Denu in the Ketu South municipality of the Volta region has blamed the current surge in COVID-19 cases in the country on the political activities and rallies of politicians of the country before and during the 2020 electioneering campaign. According to Anthony Penike, the impression was created at that all the political events and rallies there was no COVID-19. Rebecca Oklu Akoli, Senyo Oklu, and Vicentia Gauga have the rest of the story.
COVID-19 continues to be a major health issue across the country. As at 21st January 2021, the country has recorded 2,178 active cases of the coronavirus with 358 deaths so far. Prior to the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections, a number of political parties, including the NDC and MPP, organized a series of political activities without adhering to the COVID-19 health protocols, particularly on the wearing of masks and social distancing. A resident and driver from Hachukopa near Denu, Anthony Piniki, told our news team that the politicians should accept the greater part of the responsibility for the current surge in COVID-19 cases in the country. He spoke of her.
Ni campaign wo idua ta flache ni apa adungo no lanto ha ni ya modonio modona nose mask ya modonio doko ni kata komi no ha ho mo no campaign ho no yin o mo do mi ni flache ni anyo kai dole la gaba gbagbo bia gaba gbade tu komo fia no anye bana wa ba emi aga no nu ya do wa ga sire ne ja do je bo wa nyam tia aga no yin de radio mi no sese le mi onto mi adegba ma uma va cho bubu moto yevu be gba no ntiami ikanyo mi mese egbema gomo mi aka do chapani gbema mi ata do nya mete gbema do ka ko gbema no ntiam nya mete dogo kaka kama ba ye gomo se ba ye egbogbo gene evinyo be no walu ko nti o ba je mi ajibena mi me do no sma sota mi no afia kaka tonti gade wu ba da sene fia madu maro no afia to ga fofo me gane america egro ne bana yere kakuru kwela hu ha do mu ya mare imoko passenger ko ati police over le ko mblibu aba tere miaji ka no wa nyua mi de kuku na government no kpomu ya manami no sma se ha ta flache aje jidudu na wo mu de tonti na mi ha mi yam ni plema mi plia na mi nyama avuvu ha ta mi de kuku ndi ato atere mi aji o mala ko ma mi wo po wan si tete ha mi akono bia tun de mabuma yi ma gbon ba ko ndu ga review la ko ma madu nye to ha madu ba san difia ko mi nya nka won mi bala du kom akwa mi da ba na mi akpongo gbe ya akwa po no manye ya ta mada kuku na government
ai ka dollar lali chamenya nyedro ni ta nusma fa alabu manami nyeno zazam aka ai campaign madu politician o campaign nusma malio kaka yi jiruru vafia odo president ajijia mie ga nyaba dollar ma aga trogbo ika wo jire mia kiba mia do nusma fu ka do kumye do fia goji ndia ko dan police va pack mi chu ndi fu ya kwa ka mia mo mia na ka goma samu ko anyanwu ika fu dam na mia la ka gbagba na ebe nusma fa mia ga do wo yi jia ka yi okpomi ndia do nami woni ba awo fifi da fia nusma fa ahia ba mia ga do ya ga no dom nya na passenger onanya India all mia devo paki passenger o modu o do va pakra police station na ikamaja majo.
Moving on, residents of Abutia Klo in the West District of the Volta region are using communal labor to construct a concrete culvert to link the community and their only basic school compound, which is beneath the mountainous topography of the town. The project, which cost 20,000 Ghana cedis, is being funded from contributions of the inhabitants both at home and abroad. The effort is aimed, among other things, at addressing part of the acute erosion challenges facing the community.
It is one of the oldest communities in the whole municipality of the Volta region, but now in the whole West District. Apart from the main third road, which connects the community from Ho, 8 town roads are not only untarred, but also face serious erosion challenges because of the hilly topography of the community. The perennial erosion challenges have therefore cut off the community from 8 only EP Basic School, which also serves as the Basic School Education Certificate Examination Center for junior high schools in the entire Abuja traditional area. It is against this backdrop that the community decided, through its communal labor effort, to construct the culvert to reopen access to the school, which was established in 1945. Well, staff of the school parked their motorbikes and vehicles far in town before walking to the school compound. Some pupils also had to park their bicycles for the same reasons. Regent Samuel Sapite is the spokesperson for the community.
It's become necessary to organize communal labor in the village, and in actual fact the people are full of communal labor spirit, and the turnout is very encouraging. We've got to do this because for a long time, if I may not be wrong, this is one of the oldest, if not the third, in whole districts. Apart from Ho, Beje, then this school. Because of erosion, it was not the third road. The third road is only from Ho to the town. But this place used to be like this, but erosion has taken the greater part of the road. That's why we are forced to make the bridge. This place is the examination center for the whole Abuja traditional area, and bringing examination materials to the school becomes difficult. And we feel if we don't do anything about it, the place can be closed. So we are forced to construct the bridge ourselves. The teachers, they have to park their vehicles cars and motorbikers far away and have to walk long distance before coming to school because of the deterioration nature of the route. There was a project for teachers bungalow, but you can see to the level it is. And in actual fact, we are hung up. If government can come to our assistance by helping us at least develop the school. Started with government money and it stopped. The money is becoming useless if the project is not completed. So please, government should do something about it for us.
We're still on bad road issues where residents and users of the 24-kilometer stretch of the Aveime-Asichari Road in the Eastern and Volta regions have appealed to government to urgently fix this short and deplorable road which has been neglected by successive governments over the years. According to some road users our news team spoke to, the short road between the two regions remain in the same death trap situation, posing a lot of danger to them. There is more in the following video.
The 24 kilometers Aveime-Asichari Road has been on the drawing board for successive governments for these years. During the rainy season, the condition of the road deteriorates, compelling drivers either to charge exorbitant lorry fares or use alternative longer and safer routes to reach their destinations. The road, which connects several farming communities such as Stokbo, number 1 and 2, Kanyakope, Adakope and Asilevikope, is one of the shortest routes linking Aveime in North Tonu and Asichari in the eastern region. A private motor rider Enoch Abebio told our news team that plying such a deplorable road, especially during the rainy season, is indeed frustrating.
Since NDC was in power, they try as much as possible to do something about this road, but they were not able to do it. Whenever it's a very heavy downpour, but we find it difficult to use the road. And that will affect our machines and then the other vehicles. Sometimes you can see this tipper truck and then a Kia truck whenever the load rise from Asichari to Aveime or Aveime to Asichari. You see them just cross the road like that. Why? Meaning due to the way the road is not good, we are not able to use the road and have peaceful mind on the road. And we normally had an accident also on it. So this is the way the whole thing turned out.
Listeners, we're going for a short commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Back from the break. You're still watching Aflao TV. Let's now shift our attention to the Keta municipality because the 1990 year batch of the Old Student Association of the Keta Business College at Keta in the Volta region has presented 60 metal office seats to the school at a brief but colorful ceremony at the school premises at Keta. A 7-member delegation of the chapter made the donation on behalf of their members. The event, which was witnessed by a cross-section of both staff and students, was described by many not only as encouraging but also emulating by other badges of the Old Students Association. College is one of the old business senior high schools in the Volta region, churning out several thousands of students over the years who are contributing their quota to national and international development in their fields of endeavor. Starting with just 2 structures some decades ago, the school can now boast of a lot of infrastructural expansion by successive governments. Speaking at the presentation ceremony, a spokesperson for the group, Dr. Olympio Atipo, encouraged the current students not only to study hard, but also take advantage of the improved infrastructural situation in the school to achieve greater academic laurels for themselves, their families, and the nation at large.
There is this illusion that the name of the school is what is going to take you to the world. So if you don't go to the big, so-called big school that you have their name, oh, you can. So when you are here, you are in Busco, they say the people are in Famchepi, they are in Adisa, they are in then you are what? You are, some of you will suffer from inferiority complex. But I can assure you that it is not about big names. It is about individual. You can go to the bird school, the so-called bird school, where you can come back, become a richer person. You can go to the so-called village school, but you can go to the world to make a difference. I always use myself as an example. That's why I'm very proud of this school. It's the only school behind the cemetery. We are globally competitive. Just we are coming from here, and the foundation is from here. That is why it is very important to you to understand that it is not about the school. You should be lucky that you are here. And tomorrow you will also be calling yourself the old students of Bush School. So we are proud of this school. That is why we are here today. So you should be able to do more than what we have done and what we are doing now.
Dr. Atipo reminded the students that the global impact of the old boys is worthy of emulation, charging them to see beyond the sky as the limit.
So what I want to emphasize is that it is not about infrastructure in the school. It is not about how beautiful the school is, or it is not about whether the school has produced a president or not. But it's about you individual and what you want to become in the future. But there is something you should understand. Don't learn to pass exam. Learn to know. Learn to know. If you learn to know, if you go to the exam, you will pass. But if you learn just to pass exam, you may pass the exam and have the best grade. But if you go outside over there, you will be a liability.
The headmaster of the school, Mr. Gostime Eche Siaka Kwao, described the support as commendable, saying it is always refreshing to see old boys coming back from their world of work after school to give back to their alma mater in their various ways.
It's indeed a delight when all students completed school and they go into the world, especially the world of work, where they are able to carve a niche for themselves. Then at the end of the day, they remember their alma mater. So they want to give back to their alma mater. It's refreshing. And today's occasion is no exception. I received this and I promise that we'll take very good care of it, so that when you come the next time, the care and loan that we'll give to this will motivate you to give us more. And like Oliver Twist, we are not satisfied with this, but we are asking for more. Thank you very much.
Now, away from education, we're now going to health, because the Akache South Municipal Assembly in the Volta region has constructed a chief's compound facility within the jurisdictions of the Akache market. The facility was put up to prevent the situation where the market women, traders, as well as residents in and around the area had to travel over long distances in the past to access quality and quicker healthcare services within and outside Akache, the municipal capital. There is more in this video.
Market is one of the busiest marketing centers in the Volta region. It attracts traders and businessmen and women from all walks of life. The Chiefs Compound facility provides an array of services to its clients, including OPD, antenatal, maternal and child health, as well as family planning services. About 5 health staff are currently working at the facility. Municipal Chief Executive for Akachi South, Leo Nelson Ajidoga, told our news team the purpose of siting the facility within the market space.
I think I can describe it as preventive. If any serious case happens in the market, at least they must start the treatment here before that case goes to the other facility, that is the hospital. So we put it out here to take care of emergencies. That is why it is here. They are doing well. I understand the other time somebody came here and was about to collapse in the market. They brought the person here and they gave him, heard the necessary treatment. And somebody also cut the figures. They do that. So I believe we are responding to that emergency in the market. So they are doing well. My message to them is that they must rush any case, a facility immediately it happens. So it is here to help them. So they must always come to the facility with any case.
The midwife in charge of the facility told our news team that the provision of the Chiefs Compound in the area is a dream come true.
It's a very good initiative that the Assembly took to establish it in the market, because it will give a whole lot of help to the communities around the market and the people that come to the market. People leave towns nearby to come to the market, and this market is a very busy market. There are instances whereby people come to the market, they get hurt, and then it becomes an emergency. They have to be rushed to hospitals that are a bit far from the market. Sometimes they go there. Let me say that the people are many at the hospitals, and it's not the best. So with this facility in the market, when people get hurt, they easily rush them here. When this facility was established, it wasn't long, but the cases that we receive from the market are, evidence that it's a good thing that the facility is in the market. Yes. There were an instance where an old lady collapsed, and she was rushed here. Thankfully, we were here, and then we helped her and revived her. So this facility in the market is very good. And there are some villages that are a bit far from the Akachi town. Let me say the hospital. They are far, but they are closer to the market here. So with this facility, we see them, they come. They come. Though we have some few challenges starting the facility as it is new. One of them is the health insurance accreditation. We are not yet accredited because from our director, some steps are being taken to give the facility an accreditation. But we can't sit like that because clients are coming. So we do it on cash and carry base. Though they understand when they come and we explain to them, they understand us, and then they patronize. This means that when the health insurance comes, it's going to be, massive and beneficial.
Thank you for doing the watching. This is still Aflao TV. But before we part ways with you, let's take another look at the top stories.
The Denu police in the Ketu South municipality have intercepted some motorcycles and vehicles with regards to violation of COVID-19 protocols. And also, we went to Akachi, where more than 300 senior high school graduates have gone through a vigorous interview session in order to benefit from government scholarship for the tertiary education in the 2020 and 2021 academic year.
While the Avena Traditional Council says the Anglo Traditional Council should stop interfering in their internal affairs. And we also went to Ehi, where the Canine parvovirus has killed 5 puppies, a development which has brought a lot of worry to the residents there.
This and many more was part of our major bulletin on Aflao Tri News on Aflao TV, here in the studios of Aflao TV at Aflao Avaiboma in the Volta region. Keep watching Aflao TV for all our programs, and we thank our production crew for being part of this successful show. I am Rebecca Oklu Akoli, and I was here with
Oklu Senyo.